I would never buy a house without checking these 7 things first. And no, I'm not talking about whatever I like or not the kitchen. I'm talking about the things that can completely change how I see the house and how much I would be willing to pay for it. Because a house can look beautiful and still make me nervous. And an ugly house, sometimes that's the one I want to look at twice. Let me show you what I mean. When I walk in a house, in a property, I'm always separating what I see from what actually matters. And that's something buyers have a very hard time doing. So here are the 7 things I was talking about. I look at them before I get emotionally attached to a house. Number 1, I look past the decor. The first thing I do is mentally remove everything that isn't coming with the house. The furniture, the artwork, the beautiful accessories, the staging, even the paint colors, because all of that can change how you feel about the property without changing what you are actually buying. A beautiful stage house can make buyers forgive things they shouldn't. And an empty, badly decorated house can make buyers reject something that actually has potential. So I ask myself, what am I looking at if I take all of this away? That's the house I'm evaluating. Number 2, I am looking for signs of water. This one gets my attention very quickly. I'm looking around ceilings, around windows, under sinks, near showers, around exterior walls, and I'm not diagnosing the problem. That's what the appropriate professional inspection is for. I'm looking for clues that tell me, Liliana, please ask more questions. A little discoloration may be nothing, or it may be telling you there is something you need to investigate. I don't ignore it. Number 3, I look at the big expensive items. Now we are getting into things that can affect the numbers. Roof, air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, windows, depending on the house. These aren't exciting. Nobody walks in a house and say, oh my goodness, I love electrical panel. But these are exactly the things I want to understand, because replacing ugly light fixture is one thing. Discovering that several major systems may need attention, completely different conversation. And number 4, I separate ugly from expensive. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see buyers make. They walk into a dated kitchen and immediately think, no, look at these cabinets, look at this floor, look at this bathroom, I can't live possibly here. And I'm thinking, wait, this is ugly, or is it actually a bad house? Those are not the same thing. Paint can change, lighting can change, cabinet hardware can change, flooring can change. Sometimes even a very dated room can be transformed without doing what buyers imagine is a massive renovation. But structural problems, major systems, serious water issues, those deserve a different level of attention. Learn to separate the two. And number 5, look at the layout. Now I stop looking at finishes completely. I look at how the house actually works and flows. Where do you enter? Where does your eyes go? How does the kitchen connect to the living space? Are the rooms proportioned well? Is there wasted space? Does something feel awkward? And most important, can it be improved? Because sometimes buyers want to spend a fortune changes finishes when the real problem is the layout, and sometimes a house that looks terrible has very good bones underneath all that ugliness. That interests me. And number 6, I ask what I would actually change. This is where I start seeing the house differently. Most buyers look at what is there. I'm already asking, what would I keep? What would I remove? What would I change? And what we are absolutely not spend money on. This is important because renovation is not about changing everything, at least shouldn't be. The question is, which changes will make the biggest difference? Maybe it's paint and lighting. Maybe it's flooring. Maybe the kitchen really does need work. Or maybe that kitchen everybody hates is perfectly fine with a few intelligent changes. I don't want maximum renovation. I want the right renovation. And number 7, finally, I look at the numbers. And this is where everything comes together. The asking price is one number, but isn't the only number I care about. I want to understand what is this house worth on its current condition. Approximately, what would I need to invest to improve the right things? And what could be property potentially be worth after those improvements? Why? Because price, value, and potential are 3 different things. A house can be beautiful and overpriced. A house can be ugly and still be a terrible deal. And sometimes the house everybody else rejecting is exactly the one worth investigating. The numbers have to make sense. So before you fall in love with the kitchen or run away because you hate the bathroom, look at the house again. Look past presentation. Look for clues. Understand the expensive items. Separate ugly from expensive. Study the layout. Decide what actually needs to change. And then look at the numbers. Because when I'm looking at a house, I'm not only asking, do I like it? I'm asking, what am I actually buying? What could this become? And does it make sense? That's how I want you to start looking at the houses too. If you enjoy seeing houses this way, subscribe because we are going to look at a lot more of them together, and some of the houses I would buy, I have a feeling you are going to disagree with me about.